Good morning. In this lecture, I am going to discuss the potential flow past a rotating cylinder. So, we have earlier seen the potential flow past a cylinder we have seen. So, in that case, we had a cylinder with its center coinciding with the origin of the coordinate system, has a radius r, and there is a uniform flow like this. So the fluid flows over the surface of the cylinder in a symmetrical manner, thereby the velocity on the top and on top of the cylinder and the velocity at the bottom of the cylinder are equal. So in this particular case. And since the velocities are same, the pressure is also on the top and bottom are same. So there is no pressure difference in the y direction. Thereby there is no force in the y direction. So whereas now when we consider this particular case of in which the cylinder rotates, so now in this case the cylinder, let us assume that the cylinder is rotating with an angular velocity omega. So, so there is a tangential velocity at any point on the surface of the cylinder. At any, if you take any point on the surface of the cylinder, there is a tangential velocity. The tangential velocity at this point, v theta is equal to r into omega. Because of the rotation of the cylinder, the tangential velocity v theta is equal to r omega. And if you calculate the circulation due to rotation, that is the v theta into the length along the curve. That is here the length along the curve is the circumference, which is 2 pi r. So this is the kind of circulation because of the rotation of the cylinder. Now what happens is that when the fluid on the top will be aided by the rotation, thereby the fluid velocity on the top increases. The total velocity or the velocity on the top of the cylinder will increase. Whereas the rotation of the cylinder, that is the velocity or the tangential velocity is opposite to the direction of the fluid motion. So thereby the fluid velocity on the bottom will be reduced. So when the fluid velocity at the bottom is reduced, the pressure is increased on the bottom, and because the velocity is increased on the top, the pressure is reduced on the top. So there is a bottom, there is an increase of pressure, top there is a decrease of pressure. Therefore, there will be a force in the vertical direction that causes that is called a lifting force on this body. So the cylinder, when it rotates, the other effect which is going to come is the lifting force on the airfoil, not on the cylinder. So the lifting force on the cylinder. So now we will try to develop the complex law potential for the flow past the rotating cylinder. So we know that for the flow past a cylinder, the complex flow potential Fz is equal to U infinity into Z plus R squared by Z. This is the complex flow potential for the flow past a cylinder. Now, in addition to that, we are going to have the rotation of the cylinder. That introduces a circulation. So that is the circulation, that is the complex flow potential due to this circulation or the tangential motion, that also we have developed earlier. That that equation is minus I gamma by 2 pi logarithm of Z minus here the center of the cylinder is at the origin, so is at minus 0. So the minus I gamma by 2 pi logarithm of Z. And in this particular case, okay, this minus I gamma comes for a positive circulation, that is the anti-clockwise circulation. So this is what is called a positive circulation, right? Whereas here we are introducing a circulation, in the direction of circulation is clockwise. So in this particular case, the gamma itself is actually negative. So it's a negative. It's negative. Gamma itself as a gamma is negative. So gamma is negative minus gamma. So this minus gamma gives you plus. So the total complex flow potential for the flow path cylinder with a rotation in the clockwise direction can be written as this is the complex flow potential. Now let us try to derive what is the stream function. And you know the complex flow potential consists of phi as the real part, that is the scalar flow potential, phi as the real part, and I. So the scalar flow potential and the psi is the stream function. So let us write down what is psi. So psi is the imaginary part of this epicenter, and we know that it is u infinity. This z, if you are writing it as r e raised to I theta, so r cos theta plus r I sin theta. So the imaginary part consists of then r. So z is equal to r e raised to I theta. So that is the substitute. So you will be having a term containing I, which is r sin theta, plus this u infinity is there for this term also, r squared divided by r e raised to I theta divided by r. So it comes e raised to minus I theta. So e raised to minus I theta comes the imaginary part with minus I theta. So plus, and here already there is an I is there. So you look at log Z. So since already I is there, so what is the real part of log Z? So when Z is r e raised to I theta, log Z is log r plus I theta. So the real part is log r. Real part is log r. And that real part will be multiplied with I. So that gives the imaginary part for epicenter. So it is going to be gamma by 2 pi log r. So this is the psi as a function of r and theta. So now let us try to find out what is the stream function corresponding to the surface of the cylinder. So the surface of the cylinder is a streamline actually. So that can be obtained by taking psi r capital, taking small r equal to capital R. So you will have u infinity capital R sin theta plus u infinity capital R squared by capital R, which is going to be r sin theta with a negative sign, sin theta with negative sign minus sin theta plus gamma by 2 pi logarithm natural capital R. So in this this term and this term cancels, and psi on the surface of the cylinder will have this value. So it's streamlined with the stream function gamma by 2 pi log r. So you remember when we derived the flow path cylinder, we want we looked at what is the stream function streamline corresponding to psi is equal to 0, and that we have identified as a cylinder. So in this case also, suppose I want psi on the cylinder surface to be equal to 0. It is not possible with this kind of a FZ, because psi is going to have this constant value which cannot be 0. So what we can do is we can apply a constant in the complex law equation of complex law potential, so that this imaginary part of C also will be there in the equation of psi. So plus imaginary part of C will come, and so since these two things are cancelling each other, so we can obtain an imaginary part of C such that psi is equal to psi of r theta is equal to 0. So psi of r theta is equal to 0 on the surface of the cylinder implies that gamma by 2 pi log r is equal to minus imaginary part of C. So, or imaginary part of C is equal to minus gamma by 2 pi log r. So, and also C can have a real part, but we are not, so that will be contributing to phi, and we are not trying to impose any condition on the value of the phi. So that real part can be considered to be equal to 0. So in that case, we can take C is equal to I gamma by 2 by log r. So that the imaginary part becomes equal to this. So if you substitute that, you will have that C if you substitute. So this would become minus I gamma by 2 pi log capital R, and you can rewrite psi of r theta, or not psi of r theta, that C itself. Okay, C, what is the C? C itself we can rewrite. The C is minus I gamma by 2 pi logarithm of capital R, so that Fz can be rewritten as Fz is equal to u infinity z plus r squared by z plus I gamma by 2 pi. So log z, I gamma by 2 pi is same in this log z minus log r is logarithm of z by r. So this kind of a complex law potential satisfies the flow past a rotating cylinder. At the same time, we are having the stream function value, or the streamline equal to 0 corresponds to the cylinder. So that's all. So write it once again. F is set is equal to u infinity z plus r squared by z plus I gamma by 2 pi logarithm of z by r. So we can find out the velocity by finding out f dash is set. So u infinity into 1 by z is minus 1 by z squared, r squared by z squared plus I gamma by 2 pi. Logarithm of z by r is r by z into 1 by r, that would be 1 by z. So the whole thing will become 1 by z. And it is better to use the polar coordinate system to get the velocity components. So we write f dash is z into e raised to I theta. That is equal to u infinity into e raised to I theta minus r squared by z squared e raised to I theta plus I gamma by 2 pi e raised to I theta by, okay, this is said, we can write as r e raised to I theta, so that this and this cancels. So here also r squared e raised to I theta into e raised to I theta, these two cancels. So we can write as u infinity e raised to I theta minus r squared by r squared e raised to minus I theta plus I gamma by 2 r. And this is equal to f dash e raised to I theta in polar coordinate velocity is ur minus iu theta. So the real part of this expression gives the radial component of velocity, which is equal to u infinity into the real part of this. This will have a real part cos theta minus r squared by r squared. This will have a real part cos theta again. There is no real part. Now let us look at the radial velocity on the surface of the cylinder. That is when small r equal to capital as a function of theta will have u infinity cos theta minus r squared by capital R squared cos theta, and this is 0. So that is the condition. So no fluid, there is no radial velocity through the surface of the cylinder. So on the surface of the cylinder, radial velocity is equal to 0. So on the surface of the cylinder, we have only tangential component of velocity. So we can find out the tangential component of velocity. So u theta, which can be found out as a function of r and theta, and that is the imaginary part of this equation. Imaginary part of this equation. Right? So that complex function u infinity into imaginary part of e raised to I theta is sin theta minus r squared by r squared, and here the imaginary part is minus sin theta. That would give you sin theta. The imaginary part of this is gamma by 2 pi r. The last term is gamma by 2 pi r. Whole this is minus u theta. So the whole this is minus u theta, or u theta is equal to minus of this. So you can write that this is minus negative. So u theta, that is tangential component of velocity on the surface of the cylinder. So the tangential component of velocity at any point around the cylinder. So any radius and any angle theta. So now suppose I want to find out u theta at on the surface of the cylinder. So this will become 1. Sin theta plus sin theta becomes equal to 2 sin theta. So 2u infinity sin theta, and this is the only thing we had when there is no rotation. So when this rotation is there, you will get gamma by 2 pi r. So this is the tangential component of the velocity on the surface of the cylinder. So we can see that for sin theta, the positive values of sin theta. Sin theta has a positive value in the first quadrant and second quadrant. In the first quadrant and second quadrant. Here, any point on this first quadrant and second quadrant, we will have a sin theta positive. When sin theta is positive, this term is positive, and this will be added. So you are having a higher velocity on the first quadrant, and then here and here. Whereas in second quadrant and third quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant, sin theta is negative. When sin theta is negative, this will be subtracted. When this is subtracted, you will have a lesser value velocity on the third quadrant and fourth quadrant on the surface of the cylinder. So that causes velocity to be less in the bottom region of the cylinder compared to top region. So thereby you have the now let us find out where are the stagnation points and how the streamlines there. on the surface of the cylinder, we can identify by finding out the stagnation point. Stagnation points are points where, okay, only u theta is there on the surface of the cylinder. The velocity is only u theta. There is no radial velocity. So this is the without sign. If you write u theta, that is the magnitude of the velocity of the surface of the cylinder. So, so now, okay, the stagnation point is stagnation point. Stagnation point is a point where the velocity becomes equal to 0. So we know that if only u theta is u theta is equal to 0 implies we are having this whole expression 2 infinity sin theta plus gamma by 2 pi r. So actually, when I substitute r, this also has to be this has to be capital R because we are substituting. So this is equal to 0. Minus of this is equal to 0, same as this is equal to 0. So that gives sin theta is equal to minus gamma by 2 pi r u to u infinity. So that 2 and 2 together we can write as 4. So the gamma has a positive value, r has a positive value, and u infinity has a positive value. So gamma by 4 pi r u infinity can be called as a dimensionless circulation. Now suppose we are arranging gamma in such a way that the dimensionless circulation is equal to 1. Suppose dimensionless circulation is equal to 1. Okay, gamma by this is what is called dimensionless circulation. So if it is equal to 1, you have sin theta is equal to minus 1. So gives theta, that is only one theta is there for which sin theta is equal to minus 1, that is 3 pi by 2. So that is 3 pi by 2, that point is this point. This is the only one point is the stagnation point. So only one point is a stagnation point if you have this if you have the dimensionless circulation gamma by 4u infinity r equal to 1 minus equal to 1 equal to 1. We are going to have only one stagnation point. So in that case, so the flow will be the streamline should be like this. So we have a streamline like this. So the streamline will be like this. This is for the dimensionless circulation gamma by 4 pi r u infinity is equal to 1. So we have this kind of a flow over the surface of the cylinder when this is circulated. Right. Okay. Now let us assume that this value of this is greater than 0 and less than or less than 1. Less than 1. So sine theta is between the 0 and 1 and with a negative sign. So sine theta has a negative sign on the third quadrant and fourth quadrant. So third quadrant, so everywhere here, the third quadrant and fourth quadrant, sine theta has a negative value, and it lies between 0 and 1. So you will have so if this is the condition, you will have a stagnation point. You will have two stagnation points, one somewhere here and another side, symmetrically. So, so, so the streamlines over the surface of the cylinder will be, for this case, it will be like this. So there will be two strands. Okay, so the streamlines will be like this. And there's one more possibility is there, when this dimensionless circulation can have a value greater than 1. So we can adjust gamma r u infinity such a way that this is gamma by 4 pi r u infinity greater than 1. So in that case, there is no sine theta on the surface of the cylinder. There is no sine theta and there is no theta on the surface of the cylinder, for which you can find out a point where the velocity becomes equal to 0. But in this case also, there will be a point where velocity is equal to 0. That will be outside the surface of the cylinder. So that will be outside the surface of the cylinder. So it will be like this. It will be. So, what is the case when? What is the case when we have the dimensionless circulation gamma by 4 pi r u infinity greater than 1. So in which case you will find that the stagnation point is outside the surface of the cylinder. So at some point outside the surface of the cylinder. So there will be these streamlines like this. So there is the flow will be approaching like this. Then it will be flowing around the surface of the cylinder, and here again it will come, and then it will, here we have a streamline. So this is when so this is the case of this is the case of this, and this is the case when gamma by 4 pi mu infinity r is equal to 1. We'll stop this now.